Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. We are taking a look at what has been going on in the last 24 hours for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. Right now, things are looking pretty red once again. One of these days I'm going to come on here and tell us the bull market has begun, but right now we're still seeing that sideways action, those small movements to the upside, and then those small retracements back to the downside. One of these days it is going to be positive, but today, unfortunately, is not that day. Bitcoin is down another 1% within the last 24 hours. Ethereum is down marginally as well, but we're looking at Bitcoin still holding that $26,500 level, and Ethereum still holding that $1,625 level. So things have been worse, but things have been much, much better. So this is the time we are in right now. Who knows this period of how long this period of time is going to last? Unfortunately, it has been static for a pretty long time now. Let me remove that from there. So you can see here, we haven't really seen much movement. This is the 3-day chart. If we go to the daily chart, or let's even go to the weekly chart here. Let's zoom right out here. You can clearly see for the past 6 weeks, really not seeing that much movement. And then before that, we had quite a big movement. And then we had another 6 weeks of nothing. And then we had 1 week of movement. And then another 10 weeks of nothing. It really hasn't been that exciting to be in the cryptocurrency space recently, unfortunately. But we are trying to keep the space exciting by doing these live streams every single day, keeping you up to date with what's going on in the news, and hopefully bringing a little bit of excitement to the crypto space while we're in this sideways action. And eventually, when the markets do take that turn and we do start to see some more bullish momentum, we'll all be very much prepared for that. We've all been sitting patiently and waiting. So I do believe we'll deserve it at this point in time. Let's see what's going on in the cryptocurrency news today. Before I forget, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest crypto news. Also, if you have not already, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com, and at the top, if I zoom out, because I like to zoom in so far into my web pages, you can see we have this merch store link here. Now, this is new. It was launched earlier this week. If you click that, you get access to our merch store and you can check out all of the different stuff we've got on offer. And we've got some stuff in here that we really can't see the competitors selling. This crypto thermal cup, as I say every day on this live stream, I use that every single day without fail. I have my iced coffee in that every single day, and I am the type of person that will have an iced coffee even if it's the 25th of December and it's snowing outside. So that cup is one of my favorite items in the merch store. We're also selling Bitcoin neon signs. I've got one of these here, still yet to put them up. Maybe that's the job for this weekend. We also have Bitcoin socks there, which I have right here. What else have we got here? As I keep saying, I did go and raid the stock at Crypto Saving Experts merch store just to make sure that everything was good enough. We had to have someone to test it all, and I took on that responsibility because that's the hard worker that I am. Let's see what else we've got here. If you go to the clothing section, you can see we've got loads of different t-shirt designs. You can have one with the Crypto Saving Expert logo on, or you can have one with just a small Bitcoin and Ethereum logo. And then we've got more subtle Crypto Saving Expert logos, if that's your kind of thing. And then the new caps and beanies there as well. They're pretty cool, pretty funky. That'll be nice for the summer, but unfortunately we have missed the summer now. It's September. Maybe for those that are in Australia, that would be useful. Let's see what's going on in the cryptocurrency news. Anyway, we've given it a little bit of time now for more people to join the stream, so we are ready to go. Let's talk about what's going on with Ethereum first. Before I forget, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. What we have here is Ethereum Futures ETF could launch next week amid looming US government shutdown. So the US government shutdown is really what we should be talking about today. We did speak about this about 2 weeks ago. This was big news, and not many people were talking about this at that point in time because not many people believed it would get to this point. But clearly you can see we are approaching the 1st of October. And that is when the government could be shutting down here. So Bloomberg analysts have said the SEC want to accelerate an approval for Ethereum futures ETFs. First of all, let's talk about what the US government shutdown is. Then we'll talk about the effect it's going to have on the SEC. And then we'll talk about the effect it's going to have on Ethereum futures ETFs. So we did actually see yesterday a delay in the response to ARK Invest's Ethereum futures ETF, I believe. Let's check that. Let's fact check that on cryptosavingexpert.com. If you go to the news section here, we've got all of the latest cryptocurrency news. The article I am talking about is somewhere in here. I have seen one of these. Let's search at the top. Ethereum ETF. Some of you may have noticed we've changed the navigation bar on the top of the Crypto Saving Expert website. I think it's a lot smoother now. But let me know what you think about that. Let's zoom in slightly. My throat's quite sore this morning. This afternoon. The days have been going so quickly. Let's see if we can get this news up. In fact, it might be quicker to find that on my phone. Let's continue with the story we were going with, and we'll come back to that if I remember what the trail of thought was there. So what the situation is we could be seeing a US government shutdown on the 1st of October. So obviously that is only a couple of days away now. So this would mean that thousands of federal government employees are put on furlough. Now, they do not get paid during that period of time, but they will get paid retroactively. So basically, they'll go back in again and they'll get paid for the period of time that they were on furlough for. So they still end up overall with the same amount of money. So government workers who perform what are judged essential services continue as usual, but all of the extra work, all the extra workers have to fall apart. So you're basically left with the skeleton of the government rather than all of the extra muscles around it. Now we can see here that there is a concern that we are going to see a US government shutdown on the 1st of October. But what actually causes a shutdown? What is it? So you can see here the terms of a piece of legislation known as the Anti-Deficiency Act, first placed in 1884, prohibits federal agencies from spending or obligating funds without an act of appropriation or some alternative form of approval by Congress. So if Congress fails to enact the 12 annual appropriation bills needed to fund the US government's activities and associated work, all non-essential work could cease until it does. So essentially, every single year, Congress have to enact the 12 annual appropriation bills. Now, they have not yet done so here, so they can't actually just go out and spend that money and continue to spend that money on non-essential work until Congress enacts these. So we can see here if Congress enacts some of the bills but not others, the agencies affected by the bills not enacted are forced to cease normal functioning, and this is known as a partial government shutdown. So how unusual are these shutdowns? Now, this has happened before. So the first 200 years of the US's existence, it never ever happened. In recent decades, it has become an increasingly regular part of the political landscape. So there have been 20 federal funding gaps since 1976, when the US first shifted the start of its fiscal year to the 1st of October. So we did see a 21-day partial shutdown in 1995. In 2013, when the government was partially closed for 16 days, we saw one there. And then we also saw one December 2018 until January 2019 for 34 days, when Trump refused to sign any appropriation bills that did not include $5.7 billion of funding for a border wall along the US border with Mexico. So what is triggering the shutdown this time? Let's take a look at this bit. So the crisis is being driven by the relatively weak position of McCarthy, the Republican Speaker in the House of Representatives. So what we are seeing here, there's a wafer-thin majority in the 435-seat chamber, would need a record 15 ballots to ascend his position last January. So is there a way out of the current impasse? So yes, McCarthy and other Republican leaders have been exploring the possibility of deploying a stopgap spending measure called a CR that would keep the government open until the 31st of October. So that gives another 31 days for Congress to enact these 12 bills, while efforts continue to agree to final spending bills for 2024. However, even that has failed to win approval of Freedom Caucus members, who are refusing to vote for it unless it has more radical conservative policies attached. So basically, until there are some agreements made in the government, this could continue to be a problem. We are seeing, according to the Congressional Budget Office, the 2018 to 19 shutdown imposed a short-term cost of $11 billion in the US economy, an estimated $3 billion of which was never recovered after the stoppage ended. So this is the effect that it could have on the wider economy. So obviously you can see the immediate impacts that it's going to have on people. So if we do see the government shut down, all of those people that work for the government that aren't seen as essential don't get paid for a period of time. Now, we've just seen there was a shutdown that lasted 21 days, 34 days. What was the one up here? We've seen more gaps there as well. We've seen 20 gaps here where people have just, their paychecks have just stopped coming in. And yes, when they go back to work, they will get paid for that time that they were on furlough, but still their pay packet's getting pushed backwards. And that's an immediate effect on those in the US or working for the US government. What else can we see here is how it affects the US economy in the long term. As we've just said, the shutdown in 2018, which was of the length of 34 days, caused a short-term cost of $11 billion and a long-term loss of $3 billion on the US economy. So this is not something to be taken lightly. Joe Biden has reacted to this. He has said, let's be clear, if the government shuts down, that means members of the US military are going to have to continue to work but not get paid. Funding the government is one of the most basic responsibilities of Congress. It's time for Republicans to start doing the job America elected them to do. So fearing the worst, however, the White House has published a set of blueprints for how government agencies should operate if a shutdown ensues and funds run out. So there's more information in this article. To be honest, I would recommend this article as a little bit of a read through if you want to know more about what the shutdowns mean and what they are in a little bit more detail from The Guardian. It's quite a good article to be reading. So essentially, we've just run through all of the major points there. These are the concerns we have, how it will affect the economy, and obviously it's not looking good there. And if we see similar results this time, it could be catastrophic here for the stock markets, for the cryptocurrency markets. We are seeing the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, making some points about how it will affect the regulation of cryptocurrency. So what we're seeing here is the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, who regulates securities. They've been going after the cryptocurrency space for a while, and this is the regulator that gets all of the applications for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. So what we're seeing here is the SEC may have to go down to its skeleton form. As we've just said, a lot of the different government agencies would have to do this if there is a government shutdown. And with that, we are seeing Gary Gensler saying, we're going to have to staffing to skeletal levels, stop it from approving companies' Wall Street debuts and hindering its ability to respond to any market turmoil. So he said this on Wednesday. He has previously mentioned a week or two ago that it would also affect the Bitcoin ETF applications. They are trying to work through all of this, but obviously working on the stock market regulation isn't seen as essential to the US government. So the SEC would lose a lot of its muscle power, and therefore all of these problems that are occurring in the regulation of the stock market and of cryptocurrency is something that would take a back seat if the US government does shut down, which it looks like it is. So these are the problems that we are facing here. And with that in mind, we're talking about the Ethereum futures ETFs. We're getting full circle now and coming back to that first article we were talking about here. We are seeing analysts said the SEC wants to accelerate an approval of Ethereum futures ETFs so they can launch next week amid looming US government shutdowns. So we're seeing here they're trying to push things through as much as possible so that when they come back from the shutdown, there's not a huge backlog here. So we're seeing a senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg said the financial regulator wants to accelerate the launch of Ether futures ETFs before a potential government shutdown. This assertion is coming on the heels of a note to investors that pegged the odds of an Ethereum futures approval in October at 90%. That is incredibly high. So we could be seeing, according to a Bloomberg analyst, looking like the SEC is going to get a bunch of Ethereum future ETFs go next week, potentially. So that would be huge news there. And maybe we could see a move in the price of Ethereum. Now, usually with things like this, the excitement of this would cause a move to the upside. But as we said at the start of today's stream, if we go to the markets tab here, Ethereum is down slightly 0.08% within the last 24 hours. It's still holding on to that $1,623 level. But this excitement really hasn't triggered an uptick in the markets. But maybe the actual acceptance could cause a small move to the upside. I would like to say I wouldn't expect this to have as big of an effect as the BlackRock application for a spot Bitcoin ETF, because we already have Bitcoin futures ETFs. It's not BlackRock, and it's just an extra element essentially of the cryptocurrency space. It wouldn't have as big of an effect, but I'd like to think it has some. But let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency space. Now, we've spoken a lot about that, and we've spoken about that for 15 minutes. So if you want to learn more about the government shutdown, the effect it has on the stock market, on the US economy, and on the cryptocurrency market, and what it means, make sure to go to the start of this stream and have a little bit of a watch of that description there. Let's check out what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. Before I forget, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Here we are talking about the Curve Finance founder who's paid off the debt of Aave. So Aave was a decentralized lending protocol, and the founder of Curve Finance has paid off a debt he had outstanding on the protocol. Now, Aave was not a protocol, it still is. So what we're seeing here is the founder of Curve has taken a step to clear his debt on the DeFi lending platform Aave. He recently deposited 68 million CRV tokens worth approximately $35 million. And we are seeing here, following this deposit, he's swiftly converted 10.77 million Curve USD into Tether, settling his entire debt with Aave. So changes there. Let's see what else is going on here. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. JB says, hit the likes to moon Bitcoin. 100%. That is the strategy. Hit the like every single day, and one day Bitcoin will go up. Let's see what's going on here. Uniswap Foundation requests $62 million in funding via proposal. So the foundation has released a proposal requesting further funding. Uniswap is the leading decentralized exchange on Ethereum and has launched on many other decentralized platforms. We are seeing here, on Wednesday, the Uniswap Foundation released a proposal to the community requesting $62.37 million in funding. So we are seeing here the funds in question are outlined to cover ecosystem support, developer support, research, and several other areas. So complete initial funding of the Uniswap Foundation stated why the team required the funds. They've explained this in a little bit more detail. They've discussed the tasks that the foundation have to undertake, the achievements of the last year, the breakdown of the costs. Seems very, very expensive. But if you want to know more information about that, I'll drop this in the chat. Let's see if Uniswap has moved anywhere in the last 24 hours or week, let's say. Let's take a look. Let's find it in the top tokens here. Where are we looking for? It's lower than this. Uniswap is ranked number 30 in terms of market cap in the crypto space. It is up slightly today. We are looking at a market cap. It's down 2.09. If we take a look at the daily charts, it's up slightly today here. Not massively. It was trading at $4.24. Now it's trading at $4.31. Had huge fluctuations throughout this bear market. What we can see here is during the 2021 highs, it was up at $44 and it's now down at $4.31. I look at this with a lot of greed in my eyes. I get very excited when I see charts like this, especially for the tokens that are in the top 50. Now, obviously, nothing is financial advice. I do not recommend anything. I'm just saying my opinions here on the channel. But I am a lot less risk averse than a lot of other people in cryptocurrency. I see a lot of people in cryptocurrency come in and buy really low cap altcoins and they can make a huge amount of money. And I see a lot of my friends doing that as well. Like a lot of my friends get into cryptocurrency because somebody's told them this is the next Bitcoin, this is the next Ethereum, put $100 in it and it'll change your life. And that's how a lot of them approach me and say, look, I want to invest, I don't know how, I don't blah, blah, blah. And then I'll just kind of tell them what platforms I like to use and they'll go out and do whatever they want to do. They can make their own mistakes and they can learn from them like the rest of us do. But what we are seeing here is a lot of people do that. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. And there's a lot of people in the space that are constantly hunting altcoin gems and trying to find those super low market cap tokens that have the potential to perform really, really well. I, however, take on a lot less risk than this. Sometimes I do like to diversify and go into those low cap coins. But what I really like to do is be really careful with the majority of my portfolio. Sometimes I'll take a risk with a really small amount. The majority of the time, I'm looking for the safest play. I don't want to take on extra risk if I'm not getting extra reward and significantly more reward. And I see this pretty frequently in the cryptocurrency space. Some people are taking on too much risk when the rewards aren't worth it, in my opinion. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at the price of Bitcoin and I'm seeing here that In my personal portfolio, Bitcoin looks like the safest play to be holding until around the Bitcoin halving, and that's when I'll be looking to diversify into some altcoins. Now, with these altcoins, I'm not diversifying into those those high-risk altcoins straight away. I'm looking at what are deemed to be low-risk altcoins, those high-cap altcoins, which are like the top 100, that are significantly down from their all-time highs. If Uniswap goes back up to its all-time high, we're going to see a 10x from here. Now, I would say Uniswap and those the majority of the tokens within, well, not the majority, a lot of the tokens within the top 100 market cap are a lot less risky than those low cap coins, and they still have those huge potentials and that 10x gain, and that's what we're always hunting for in the cryptocurrency space. So when I look at that and I see I could get a 10x gain from something like this, but not take on the risk of one of those super low altcoins and low market caps, I don't understand why people choose to go to the lower one. I see the potential in these higher tokens, and that is where I take on less risk than I see a lot of other people do in the markets. But that's just how I like to play it. There is a lot of different ways you can play this right now. JB is saying in the chat, now is the time to accumulate big style. Yeah, that is exactly what I am trying to do. I'm accumulating mostly Bitcoin at this point in time because, as I said, I want to be diversifying more in around the Bitcoin halving period. Right now, I just see Bitcoin as the best thing to store at this point in time because I've looked at the history and how altcoins outperform Bitcoin prior to the Bitcoin halving, and typically the majority of them aren't really outperforming Bitcoin, and if they're only marginally outperforming Bitcoin, I believe that's taking on more risk for less reward. And that's what I keep saying. I'm always looking at the risk reward ratios, and Bitcoin to me is the lowest risk in here. Then we're looking at Ethereum, then we're looking at the top 20, then we're looking at the top 50. The further down the market caps you go, the more riskier you're going to get. If you really truly believe in one and you think it's going to pay off, then yeah, I understand that. But for the majority of the time, I'm not looking at the 200th market cap for a 10x if I can see the potential of a top 10 token doing the exact same thing. That's what I'm trying to get across there. Obviously, nothing is financial advice. I mean, I'm saying to take on less risk, so I can't really be saying anything too wrong in this, I don't think. But let's take a look at what else is going on in the cryptocurrency space here. Let's take a look at what's going on with the news. Ian says, what's the platform you like to use? Now, this is changing very, very quickly because regulation is changing very, very quickly. Bybit are leaving the UK in a matter of weeks. They are my favorite trading platform. So that is a real, real shame. And we are going to have to be doing a little bit more research into that, making some changes there and seeing how we can continue and what platform will take over that top spot for us here. But yeah, Bybit were my leading exchange. If you aren't in the UK, if you are in a region where Bybit is usable, and that is my favorite exchange, and that is all I can say really. If you want more information on the different centralized exchanges, go to the guide section of Crypto Saving Expert, and if you go to exchanges, you can see there's a list of many different exchanges, and at the bottom of these there are some affiliate links. If you use those affiliate links, some of them give you some nice benefits as well. In fact, for those of you wondering the best deals of the cryptocurrency space, we have a new tab up here called Deals. I've not yet mentioned this on the live streams. If you go to here, you can see a load of different deals. So if you're looking for new centralized exchanges, you don't know where to sign up, you're looking for a VPN, you're looking for a hardware wallet, what we've done is, because we make partnerships with so many different companies all of the time, and I've actually looked for one of these before, and sometimes you want to sign up for something, but you're like, I don't know where to go, like I just can go up to the exchange and sign up there. But if you come to this platform first, you can see some extra benefits that you can get to go through our links rather than to go directly to the exchange. So for example, if you sign up to KuCoin through this link, you receive a welcome gift pack worth up to 3,200 USDT. So that's more beneficial than just going straight to the exchange. We've got some offers for Huobi, BitGet, Kraken, Bitfinex, all of these leading centralized exchanges, Bybit, Binance. So instead of just going straight to the exchange, make sure to check out our deals tab because you might get a good offer in there as well. And it's so easy that the team have put it all on one page to check there. So to just get to that, go to cryptosavingexpert.com and you press that deals tab at the top, and you can see all of the different offers, and you can learn about the different exchanges on the website as well. So that is a really useful tool I think I'll be using in the future. Because usually I'm like trying to go on loads of people's YouTube videos and go in the descriptions until I find the exchange that I'm looking for and want to sign up to make sure I can get the best deal. But putting them all in one space was definitely a smart move from the team there. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news here. We have Hong Kong confiscates $11 million in assets as probe into JPEG's $191 million fraud case continues. So Tang said the police had arrested 12 suspects alongside the seized assets and are doing their best to uncover the location of JPEX's leader. Now, if you are interested in that, I'll drop the link into the live chat. But let's move on to the next one here and see what else is going on. JB says in the chat, only use alts to make more Bitcoin. That is exactly my strategy. I do believe in the cryptocurrency space in the future. I believe in blockchain technology and I believe in lots of altcoins for the long term. But overall, my main goal is to acquire more Bitcoin. And if that means dabbling in the altcoins and putting those profits back into Bitcoin, that is what I am doing. A lot of people look at that and think that it's a very against the future of cryptocurrency. I do believe that the future of cryptocurrency is bright and all of these altcoin projects can actually get adopted into the main world, the mainstream, and get used in a more traditional way. But I do believe overall, the thing that if someone said to me, you have to hold one cryptocurrency for the next 10 years, it would be Bitcoin without a shadow of a doubt. Now, that will never, ever change. You could have asked me that 3 years ago and I would have said the exact same thing. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. Alex, good afternoon. Thank you very much for tuning in once again. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. There has been some news leaked within the last couple of days. So on a gaming forum named Reset Era, we are seeing some news. The Xbox Microsoft Games console could soon house cryptocurrency wallets. Now, this is the kind of news that we like to see. We like to see the possibility of major adoption of the cryptocurrency space. Tyler Winklevoss has stated crypto is gamer money and gaming is a bigger industry than Hollywood and the music industry combined. So this is a massive opportunity here for the cryptocurrency space to get adopted. We are seeing, following the leak, the head of Xbox has tweeted or posted on X. We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It is hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we are ready. So he's not confirmed it, but he's not denied it. We're still looking at this. There are real plans, and it's if he said it's a shame to see the team's work shared in this way, there must be some truth behind it. This is all speculation at this point, but he's not denied it. And I think they must be working towards the field in some way to have a response like this. But it'll be interesting to see what the real news is. And when that comes out, it will be very exciting because, as the Winklevoss brother has said, there is a huge industry there to be broken into. We've seen cryptocurrency gaming projects perform well in the past, and we've seen the amount of excitement that sector can bring for the cryptocurrency space. So for there to be hype in that sector again would be really, really good news for crypto. Let's see what else is going on. Actually, I would like to touch on that a little bit more. I was just thinking about that a little bit more. I went to a crypto gaming conference at the end of last year or at the start of this year in Portugal, and there were a lot of projects there that were cryptocurrency gaming projects, NFT projects, trying to integrate cryptocurrency into online games. And I see the benefit of this. I see the appeal of this. I see why they are trying to give NFTs in-game value and how the NFTs can improve that. And that is the only real way in which I see NFTs being a beneficial thing right now in the market. But what we are seeing is, I think at this point, there's so much competition for the gaming world that it's really, really hard for not only a game to survive and be heavily adopted by the general public, it's even harder for a cryptocurrency game to be adopted by the general public. And I think that's a massive wall. Now, a lot of people look at the cryptocurrency gaming projects and say, this is going to be the next FIFA, this is going to be the next X, Y, and Z. And I see the excitement around that, and I see how cryptocurrency can change the gaming space. But I think it's more of we need the traditional gaming companies to come in and adopt cryptocurrency rather than a cryptocurrency company taking over these games that are already very, very present in the general public's day-to-day lives. So that's what I'm seeing here. But we could see some integration there, and we could see some collabs there. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that any gaming project is going to perform well. It's just the next FIFA or the next whatever it is seems a little bit far-fetched in my mind, and I think there's a lot of competition in the cryptocurrency gaming market and in the traditional gaming market. Hopefully we do see a crossover in some way, but I can't exactly see how that is going to play out right now. But I still believe the crypto gaming sector could have a nice pump, and we could see some nice gains from those projects. But let's see what else is going on in the crypto space. US Congressman Davidson accuses the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, of pushing a woke political agenda. So Congressman Warren Davidson has blasted SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's tenure at the regulator as one that refused to provide clarity and has pushed a woke political agenda. So we are seeing here that McHenry, the committee, quizzed SEC Chairman Gensler for the regulator's persistent failure to conduct thorough economic analysis or consider stakeholder feedback regarding its regulatory agenda. Now, we have seen the SEC Chairman say that Bitcoin is not a security, but he has not yet named it as a commodity. We are seeing Congressman Davidson say, "I'm inclined to judge your deeds more than your words. Your time as chairman has highlighted two problems, a Gary Gensler problem and a structural flaw in the SEC. You are not providing clarity with the rule that is evenly applied. You are intentionally shortening comment periods to limit feedback, and the courts have even called this arbitrary and capricious. You are pushing a woke political and social agenda and think abusing your role in the authority in the SEC." So that's what's happening here. Patrick McHenry warns that Congress could subpoena Gary Gensler. So he said, "You refuse to be transparent with Congress regarding your interactions with FTX and SBF. Your lack of responsiveness to this committee's legitimate oversight continues to be unacceptable." So we've seen here the SEC is not above the law, nor is it unique. So let me be clear. I do not want to be the first chairman of this committee to issue a subpoena to the SEC. And you should not want to be the first SEC chair to receive a congressional subpoena. Either we find a path forward, or my option is to issue a subpoena. So Chairman McHenry is making warnings to the SEC Chairman Gary Gensler. Now, a lot of us within the cryptocurrency space would like Chairman Gary Gensler to resign and move out of that position. But I think a lot of us are in agreement now that even if somebody else stepped up to the plate of Chairman of the SEC, I don't think much would change. I think it would be a short-term win for the crypto space, and someone would come in and basically do the exact same things that Gary Gensler's doing. But who knows on that scenario? Let's see what else is going on here. Ian says, "Do you use cold wallets?" If you want information on cold wallets, again, go to the guide section of Crypto Saving Expert. Make sure to go to wallets here, and you can learn about software wallets, hardware wallets. I have some wallets, actually. I believe I've got one right here. I've got one here sent from Trezor to CSE. We did an unboxing of this in a video not so long ago. You can see here they sent me a Trezor 1, and they gave me a nice silicone case to go with it. Now, I've not put anything on this because I just haven't put anything on it, essentially. But what you get inside a Trezor, if you are going to order a hardware wallet, is you get the hardware wallet itself. So you can see that it's got the screen, and then it's got 2 navigation buttons, and you get some pieces of paper where you can store your recovery phrase, and you get lots of nice other stuff as well. You get some nice stickers if you wanted to put some stickers on stuff. So this is the Model 1. You get some instructions that you then download the Trezor software onto your computer. It's all really easy, all really simple. You can store your cryptocurrency private keys offline and try and secure your cryptocurrency as best as possible. As I always say, there are tiers on how you can secure your cryptocurrency. There are centralized exchanges where you don't own your keys. That's seen as one of the least safe ways to store your cryptocurrency. And you can go down the ladder and store your cryptocurrency in a safer and safer way. Now, that is the best thing to do. Do as much research as you can and work out what is best for you. It's not best for everybody to move everything off a centralized exchange. If you've put $50 into Bitcoin, it's probably not worth you putting it on a cold storage wallet, because by the time you've paid the transaction fee to get it onto a hardware wallet, and then you transfer it back to sell it, probably not going to be left with much. So it really depends on your personal situation, and looking at the transaction fees, how much you're going to spend, how much you're going to spend on the actual wallet, because these things, they come at different prices. If we go to Trezor on the Crypto Saving Expert website, let's take a look at this. The Trezor one, this costs $70. So you need to look at whether it's worth it for your own personal scenario, but hardware wallets are seen as one of the safest ways to store your cryptocurrency. If you are buying any hardware wallet, make sure to check out the links on the Crypto Saving Expert website, because we may have some discount codes within these pages somewhere. And we also have step-by-step instructions of how to set up these wallets as well, with nice little diagrams there. So make sure to check that out. If you are looking in the hardware wallet market, we also have, I believe, if you search hardware wallet on the Crypto Saving Expert website, we've got an article here, 5 of the best hardware wallets available right now. So I'll drop the link to that in the live chat today, and you can take a look at that if that will help in any way. Let's see what Jerome says. Even worse for ERC20 tokens. Yeah, you need to weigh up the transaction fees and what's really best for you in that scenario. But Trezor is a nice wallet. It's a really useful wallet. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency space today. This is a long stream today. We've already been on for 35 minutes. We're not even through the crypto news. I feel like I've been rambling a lot today, but we usually get good feedback when I've been rambling. So I quite like doing these streams in the afternoon when I've had a bit of coffee inside me. Let's see what else is going on in the crypto space here. So Marathon Digital minds invalid block in company experiments. They've said this was a mistake. They've accidentally mined an invalid Bitcoin block as part of an experiment. They have said it was in no way an attempt to make any changes to Bitcoin Core, and they have rectified the error as soon as they detected the invalid block. So I'm not really sure what they've done with this block. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, because that is the kind of story that interests me, and I'll report back to you on that one. We are also seeing Binance suspend euro trading as PaySafe cut ties. So the largest crypto exchange, Binance, has suspended euro trading through PaySafe Payment Solutions, its euro banking partner. We are seeing changes with all of the centralized exchanges right now because of the difficulties with regulation. Let's see what's going on in the chat right now. If anybody is going to Zebu Live next week in London, then let us know. Me and some of the Crypto Saving Expert team are going to be there. It's a cryptocurrency conference in London next Thursday and Friday, the 5th and 6th of October, I want to say. But it's next Thursday and Friday. It should be good fun. We're going to have a little stall there. So if you are there, make sure to head over and come and say hello to us all. If you are looking for tickets for that, go to Crypto Saving Expert. Actually, I think I know the code off the top of my head. If you search Zebu here at the bottom of this article, if you've not bought your tickets yet, if you use discount code CSE in capital letters, you get 30% off your tickets there as well. So this is from Zebu Live, and I'm looking forward to that. There should be some good people there. That Martini guy is going to be there as well. I did see on Twitter that Ivan on Tech is going to be there as well, and some other familiar faces if you are always on cryptocurrency YouTube. It's going to be good fun, so make sure to come along to that if you are around. But that is all we really have for today's stream, so thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I hope you have enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. That's all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all back here tomorrow. Goodbye.